The doctors have said it would be difficult for her to have a child, unassisted. And the first one, the second one, the third one, all of them were unassisted. I mean, simply, that's a good
Because
father.
you obeyed and went to Indonesia.
That's
No,
it.
but you created a life for yourself in Indonesia.
We did, eventually. When we got there, though, it was really hard.
You said you didn't understand.
Their food, it was rice. The language was different. And then it was just the whole thing. We had similarities, though, with Nigeria, in terms of the people
Family.
are almost like, they're almost like Nigerians in a way when it comes to family and some of those things. However, it was just, we were miles away.
So in quick succession, when I didn't hear one, the next time, what is it more? Another. What is it? Don't you just take a break?
No, so that is our land of milk and honey. That's what I call it, because obviously God wanted us out of here, bless us, and then bring us back.
So why did you decide to come back? What happened?
I think it was time. Because, of course, we belong to a body, we belong to a structure, and they have a way that the structure carries out.
So the church called you back?
Yes.
Okay.
The idea was to establish a church, and what is beautiful about what we did is that it's not one of those churches where you go and you have a Nigerian church outside. Everyone was a local.
Yes.
There's a local of that church. We were the
How
only
many
ones.
Nigerians would you find in Indonesia for
They're
crying out
there.
loud?
They're there.
They're there.
Ooh,
But
so this story about Nigerians being everywhere is true.
They are there.
And we have a very bad reputation out there.
Yes.
In Indonesia.
Image.
Oh, really?
The image is
They don't
really
like
bad.
Nigerians at all.
Drugs, right?
Yes.
They see Nigerians as drug. So to see Nigerians of our kind in Indonesia was completely different for them. For many, I think the first 1 or 2 years, they would always say to us that, you're not Nigerians, you're Americans. And then we have to keep reminding them
Especially
that.
because you guys speak the English is so well. Like,
We'll go, but the malls, people want to take photographs with us. We're like,
We're like stars.
Like stars and celebrities. They hadn't seen anyone that, But I think the beauty of it, being in Indonesia, is what came out of it and the kind of relationship that we built. Because I remember the first few weeks when we arrived in Indonesia, she was weeping every night.
What would you do when she was crying? You would pray.
He went to sleep.
Some nights I pass out, I remember one funny incident that I told her before we went to Indonesia, she asked me so many things. Do they have this? Do they have that? I said, I've done my check. It's there. Everything is fine. So we went to a mall to get her hair fixed. And so
She loves to look good.
yes, to just get her hair, usual touch up and whatever it is. So we got there. Now we had language issues, but they told me yes, they understood what we were saying. And by the time they were done with her, they had just given her a head massage.
As opposed to
retouch
to
the
perm.
So livid that I was like a little boy. You know how your mother puts you in front and she's just yes. Till we got to the hotel, I couldn't say a word. She gave me the tongue lashing of my life.
But you stuck it all through. What keeps you together? What works for you? I said patience. I said love of God first. But what am I correct? And is there more?
Communication. We're always talking.
At each other or with each other? Or?
We talk. Even when we have, which is normal, every relationship has issues sometimes. When we don't agree on stuff.
Like
we
Indonesia.
keep talking about it, exactly. We keep talking about it until the other person understands, or at least we meet halfway before we let it go.
So is it easy to communicate, though, if one part has to be listening at one point in time? So what advice would you give to that effort? Because, they say women talk too much. So do you find yourself having to keep quiet to let Inyade do all the talking?
It's important to listen. It's very, very important to listen. And that's what, and she does the same, she listens. It's very important to listen. Once everybody has their opinions, but I think what is important is listening. Try to hear what the other person is saying.
Is it easy, Inyade?
Not always.
Because
Not always.
when
Not
you said,
always.
so it goes back to God then.
Yes, at the end of the day.
Is that why you have good father? What did God do for you that was spectacular that you think we must all share and learn if you read that book? What would take away?
Obedience.
Yeah.
Obedience. We should all try as much as possible to listen when God speaks.
Easy. Did you believe that God was speaking to him?
Yes, I believe.
From the go,
from the onset.
Get-go?
Yes, I believe. Because I know God speaks to him. I know. That's without a doubt.
So give me some love language lessons, quickly. Love language lessons. What?
Okay, first,
as a celebrating Valentine's, yes, what you've learned?
The first thing is I don't call him by his name.
Oh, what do you call him?
Sweetie.
Yeah, I heard Sweetie, I know that. And he insists that you must be Nyade.
Yes, he loves Nyade.
But what do you call her?
My superstar. Oh yeah, everyone who knows that she's my superstar. That's what I call her.
Does that help?
So
Having
it
a
does.
pet name for your...
It is important.
It does.
It is important because you see something positive, and that's the way you see her. That's the way you present her.
I'm going to learn, even after 30, whatever, 20-something years.
You know how I know it works? When I'm upset with him, Emmanuel. I don't say Sweetie.
Yeah.
So really.
He knows that, then he said, what's up there? He knows something. So this book can be gotten anywhere,
Yes, Amazon, bookstores and bookshops and everywhere.
So as anybody's buying that book and reading, what are you telling the person? Let me ask him, you read the book, I've read the manuscript, and I'm like, it was like walking through, because I remember all this, I couldn't understand their language, and then I went to the store, and then I went to buy this. It's like walking with her through your time in Indonesia. What should we expect as we read the book?
I think first things first, it tells the story of how a partner should always be supportive of the journey that they walk together. So men must be involved. I was involved in every...
Well, it was not a question of blaming. Was it her fault or his fault or whoever's fault?
It was never... In fact, there's a joke between us. I recall that my mom normally would come and tell us how, there was this doctor and that doctor. She was doing that out of, And when mothers do that sometimes, they don't know that they're putting pressure on the woman in the house. So I sat her down one day and I said to her, listen, I need to share something with you. She said, what is it? I said, I am the one who has a problem. The moment I said that to my mom, we never had that conversation.
And that was to keep her quiet.
That was it.
It worked.
It worked, So we must protect our own, and we must walk this journey together. I attend every hospital visits with her. Yeah. The first time I never was there was while she was very devastated. I was there all through, no matter what the circumstance. That's how close we are. Our telephone bills are higher when we're apart. So it tells you, we just do stuff together. You know how couples will drive you. You have different functions in a day. On Saturday, you're going for this function. He's going for that function. We don't do that. We drive in the same car. So we'll go to one function with her, and then she took me to my function. So we're always together. And I think if you can do that...
And you're not tired of seeing each other?
Oh, we
20, what years now?
22, 23, 23 years.
23 years now. My goodness, I wish you well. You're an inspiration. Even though I'm longer in the game, but I learned a few lessons, and hopefully we should put that couples thing together again.
I believe we should. It was nice.
We should get away and discover each other.
I think more importantly now, because since we got back from Indonesia, we've just seen a lot of marriages falling apart.
So that's a burden that you have right now.
Yes, yes.
So hopefully this book would help people?
I believe so.
You believe so?
Believe so.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for
And I'm
having
sure we're
us.
going to have opportunity to talk about this again. So keep watching. We'll see you again next week. That's what Seriously Speaking has been like today. Bye.